Alright, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the DS Asylum. I'm your Warden Dimitri Shine, and today we're going to be talking about the raid. But before we get right into it, I do want to put this out there. Since we did reach 1,500 subs not too long ago, I will be doing a Q&A. So if you have any questions you'd like to ask me, put them in the comments down below. I would say DM me on Instagram, Twitter, Discord, stuff like that. But if I'm being honest, you're much more likely to have your question answered if you just put it in the comments of this video, because I regularly check comments, whereas I rarely check my DMs. So, like, I'll check my DMs like once a day, so you could, but let's just say it's much more likely that I see your comment than your DM. So do make sure that you are doing that, because I need a certain amount of questions in order to make an entire video out of it, which is why I'm putting it at the start of this video so that people actually know about it, because, you know, no one watches just videos where, like, if I just made a video explaining this, no one would watch it. So gotta put it in the start of this. Speaking of which, though, I do want to get this out there as well. I'm gonna start making more diverse content, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm running out of ideas for Legends. Considering the game is probably in the best state it's been in over a year, I don't have that much material. I don't have that many things to talk about. There's still a few personal issues I have with the game, but in terms of things that are actually damaging the game, there's only but so many things left for me to talk about. And Bandai hasn't necessarily presented anything new to me recently that would warrant me talking about. Anything that I could talk about at this point, like, I'd say 80% of the things I could talk about at this point are things I've already talked about in the past, and I'm not like most YouTubers where I'll just make the same video 6 times because I know it'll get views. And in terms of PvP videos, I mean, first of all, I only use androids and females at this point. Those are legitimately the only 2 teams I use in PvP. So people would get sick of seeing that eventually. And, you know, the PvP videos already only ever got like half the views a video like this would get. So it was like, why would I spend like 3+ hours editing a PvP video on top of like a half hour to an hour recording it so I can get good matches, just for it to get half the views as me hitting the record button and talking for 10 minutes. So, considering how you guys weren't necessarily into the PvP videos to begin with, those are probably going to stop on top of the fact that I don't use any other teams anymore. I've come to terms with the fact that you just can't realistically use many teams in Dragon Ball Legends unless you pay. Like, yeah, I have a whole bunch of teams. I have a whole bunch of strong teams, but they're all at 2 stars, and 2-star teams can only get you but so far. So, yeah, that's basically all I wanted to say at the beginning of this video. Q&A, put questions in the comments, and please watch my other content, because if you don't, this channel will die, and I don't want that. I very much enjoy making content for you guys, so please support the other content, live streams, and whatnot. But let's stop wasting your time. Let's start talking about what you actually came here for, and that is the raid. So the raid is over because your bastards beat it. Hell, I couldn't even play much of it because I had spent the entire day, well, today as of recording, yesterday as you guys are seeing this, with my family for the first time in 2020. Which is crazy. Like, it's the first time I had seen my sister, my brother, my dad, my grandmother. It's the first time I had seen them this entire year. So, you know, I need to get out more. So I didn't even get a chance to really play the raid. I played it like when it first dropped at reset, and I played it a little bit before I left, but compared to how much I spent during the other 2 raid events, I definitely didn't play much of it. But one of the big draws to it was the Extreme Z Power. I didn't get a single Extreme Z Power because I'm convinced those things had a lower drop rate than an LF unit on Rush Limited. And if you don't know what that pull rate is, allow me to show you. Let's just head right over to Rush Limited Z Power list. LFs have a 0.02% pull rate. And then on the guaranteed sparking, they have a 0.05. I'm convinced that Extreme Z Power had less than that. Because I could, like, I still did it a decent amount at the beginning. Like, I played for like a good 3 hours when it first dropped. I didn't go to bed till like 5, 6 in the morning playing the raid. Not a single drop. Not a single EXZ power drop. If you guys got any, please let me know. Please let me know how many you got. I sure as hell was not blessed with the EXZ power, which I was actually really excited for because I want to put Z power into EX Videl. But that's one of my problems with it. I feel like they baited you into this raid with the Extreme Z power, and then it had such a pitiful drop rate that it might as well not even be there. Like, again, yeah, I'm sure there's someone probably who's going to be in the comments and they're going to be like, I pulled like two EXZ powers every single time I did it. Yeah, great. Good for you. Can you spread that luck around? Because that is not what everyone got. It's great that it was there, but you could have given it a better drop rate, or if you were gonna make the drop rate so abysmal, it should have been 200. Like, for a drop rate that low, like, I'm not kidding. It had to have at max, it had a 1%. At the absolute max, being generous, it had a 1% drop rate. At that drop rate, it should have just been 200. I don't understand why 50 Z power needed to be locked behind such a low drop rate. I'm not asking it to have like a 70% drop rate, but I mean, like, 20% would have been nice. 20% would have been nice for 50 Z power for only extremes. Yeah, would have been nice, but that's a personal thing. I don't have any like real issues with it. Every issue I have with the raid is more a personal bias than anything else. And speaking of which, let's head on over and talk about the currency. So they added this shop right here, the Extreme Clash medals. At first, I was not a big fan of this. And if I'm being honest, I still don't know how I feel about it, because in the past, you would just grind the raid medals and you'd be able to get everything on your own. Yes, we beat this raid and we beat it in like 12 hours again, but getting these 1,000 crystals right here was completely dependent on that raid boss being beaten. If that raid boss hadn't been beaten, we wouldn't have gotten those 1,000 crystals. So just like if they did what they had done with what was the last raid that nobody beat? With he had like what, like 100, like 500 trillion health or something, and we literally just couldn't do it because it was so much health. If Trunks had that much health, we probably wouldn't be getting these 1,000 crystals. And I don't think I like that. I think I like the idea of you play through the raid and you are completely responsible for getting those 1,000 crystals, as well as everything else. Now, in terms of the exchange shop itself, could be better, could be worse. I mean, Super Souls, Zenkai Souls, always good. 1,000 crystals, it's always good. It's not a bad exchange shop. Like I said, could be better, could be worse. But yeah, that's my main thoughts on the Extreme Clash medals. It is a permanent thing, which means I'm assuming that these raids are going to be a lot more often, maybe every weekend, which I did have an idea a long time ago of having a raid every single weekend, because that just makes sense. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about that. So in terms of the raid itself, the only problem I have with the actual gameplay of it was the fact that if you didn't have Goku Black or Great Saiyaman, it took forever. Like, genuinely, I dreaded going into a match in quotes, and my partner didn't have Goku Black, because it's like, oh boy, this is about to take 5 years. Like, the best unit I had for it was Kefla, and yeah, she's good. She was definitely the best one that I had, but like, I don't know. It took longer than it needed to, because only the new units had ridiculous buffs, whereas in the past, a whole bunch of units had ridiculous buffs. So it kind of forced you to have the new units, whereas the past raids didn't. Yes, you were better off if you had the newest unit, but it didn't force you to have them. Not saying you couldn't win. The raid was easy, right? You were still going to win. Even if you brought non-boosted units, you were still going to win. It was just a matter of how long it would take. And I don't think these things should take forever when you're asking us to do it like 100 times. So I feel like if you're asking us to do something like time after time after time, just constantly doing it, you should make it, you should give us the ability to complete it quickly. And if you didn't have the newest units, it just took a lot longer than it needed to, because the highest boost anyone got was like 100%. Because like you could do Transforming Warrior and Sagas in the movies. That was about the only combination of things you could get without using a red unit. And Trunks was blue, so yeah. That pretty much goes through all of the issues I have with it. In terms of the positives, I mean, it's a raid. Raids are the only thing that actually give a decent amount of dual coins. For some reason, co-op refuses to give you a decent amount of dual coins every time you beat it. The raids give you 10 minimum, whereas co-op gives you like 5 maximum. It's ridiculous. Zenkai Adventures, always good. They had the premium coins. I actually did get a premium coin drop, which was good. Gold bells, silver bells, always useful. You know, the rewards were really good. I just wish that Extreme Z Power had a higher drop rate. The raid was easy. Again, just time consuming if neither you or your partner had Goku Black or the new Great Saiyaman. And yeah. At the end of the day, we beat it very quickly. Yeah. Not really much to say about this one. Mainly because like I didn't really play much of it. It was a very standard event. It was just co-op with more health. Like, at the end of the day, that's all these raids really are. It's just co-op, but a community effort. Yeah. End of the day, good. I do like that they're bringing the raids back. I do want more of them. The raids are a very good way of getting easy crystals, and if they enable you to get 1,000 crystals every single time that a new raid comes out, you want to actually load in. Thank you. If they enable you to get 1,000 crystals every single time a new raid comes out, and they give you and they release the raids every weekend, that'd be perfect. 1,000 crystals a week just off of raids. I will take it. That's so good. 4,000 crystals a month just off raids would be amazing. So if that's the direction we're going here, I got nothing. Y'all got nothing but support from me. Like, y'all got nothing but a thumbs up from me if that's the direction you're going in. And even if you're not, even if it's just like a 1 to 2 times a month thing, I'm still for it, because that's 1,000 crystals I wouldn't have had otherwise. So, all in all, small personal gripes, but it's a thumbs up from me. So, let me know how you guys did in the raid. Let me know how much EXZ power you got. Again, do make sure you leave questions down in the comments below. Support the other content that will be coming out on the channel. And I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see all of you inmates back here at the asylum for the next video. Peace. Alright, for the true fans that actually made it to the end of the video, we're going to do our Happy Weekend summon together, because why not? I'll probably get nothing, but at least you guys get to watch me get nothing. Usually if I get like nothing, I won't put it in the video, but I'll put this at the end of the video, just for those people who, you know, are, again, did I just turn the music off? I just turned the music off. I was supposed to turn all the sound off. Whoops. At least I'm getting a sparking this time. Let's see. I think that's 9 stars on him. Oh, close. Okay, I literally only do Happy Weekend for the sparking medals, by the way. It has nothing to do with me actually wanting to do Happy Weekend. I think it's a terrible banner, but I need those sparking medals for Z Power. So, yeah, let's just go ahead and skip and see what we get. Yeah, nothing. That Vegeta's now 14 stars, though, so that's interesting. Yup. Anyway, bye.